guys, welcome to another Faves and Nays video. Today we're going to be looking at high-end concealers. Now up until this point I have only done drugstore products, drugstore foundations, drugstore concealers, liners, bronzers. I will link all of my Faves and Nays videos down below. But today I'm excited because we are looking at high-end concealers. I have 5 for you today, and hopefully I'll do another one of these videos. I'll test out other high-end concealers, but today we're focusing on these 5. I have the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer, and lastly, the Bareminerals Bareskin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. I'm going to start today with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. Before I get into my thoughts and everything, I'm just going to quickly go to the Sephora website and let you guys know some of the facts, because these Faves and Nays videos are pretty much mini reviews and I want to be as thorough as possible. So, Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. This is a Sephora exclusive, which I didn't know. It's $26. They have 6 shades. To be honest, the shade selection isn't that great. There are a lot of shades that are good for fair skin, but as far as darker skin, doesn't look too good. The description states that it's a lightweight 12-hour concealing serum with skin-soothing benefits that provides targeted, medium, buildable coverage. Those are all the facts that I kind of wanted to mention. As far as the packaging goes, I love the bottle. It's a frosted glass. It has a really cool kind of like, not an ombre, but kind of ombre cap from dark purple up to gold. I think it's really pretty. The wand is a little short, oversized doe foot applicator. I really like the applicator. I tend to just dot this right underneath my eyes and then blend out with a beauty blender. Now, like the description states, this is a medium coverage, and I do agree, it is medium coverage. It looks beautiful underneath the eyes. This is a favorite for me. I love it so much. I use it on a regular basis. You can build this up and you will get a pretty full coverage, but I just don't like building concealers up. I feel like it just looks cakey on me. Anything looks cakey on me. I have very dry skin. But it has medium coverage. It is not drying underneath my eyes. I used it today and my under eyes look so good. I don't have those little dry bumps. There was something on my face. Don't have any dry bumps, and even after my long work day, my under eyes still look amazing. If you have dry skin, I think you will really like this concealer. Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, they don't have a lot of darker shades, but if you have fair skin, I think you would like this. It's not a heavy cream at all. It's more of on the thinner side, but it's not liquidy. Like, it's a good consistency. It's between thin and thick. Otherwise, this is an awesome concealer. Not drying, it's moisturizing, gives great coverage, lasts for a really long time. 2 thumbs up for me. Moving on to the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. Now this concealer is literally like a YouTube favorite. Everybody loves this concealer. I'm not even exaggerating. Let's move on to Sephora's website. The full name is Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. Retails for $28. They have 13 shades, which I think is awesome. They have a good amount of light shades and a good amount of dark shades too. So that's a good thing as far as that goes. This is an innovative high coverage concealer that provides buildable, weightless coverage and leaves an invisible naked skin finish. I like the packaging. It's super cute. It's like a typical concealer. Has a nice big wand. It kind of has a flat applicator. I'll have close-ups, but I do like the applicator. I have no issues with it. I don't feel like it adds too much product, doesn't give me enough product, you know what I mean? It's a good wand. As far as the formula goes, like I said, everybody loves this, so I might get some death threats because I don't like this concealer at all. Now, there are some pros for this concealer. It is high coverage, and you don't even need to build this concealer up. And I know it mentioned in the facts, but you don't have to build this concealer up because a little bit goes such a long way. And if you do build this up, it's just gonna look very thick. Now, the consistency is more on the thicker side. It's definitely more thick than the Tarte one that I shared with you first, but it's on the thicker side. It's on the drier side too. And it's just too thick and dry for me. Don't get me wrong, it's full coverage. It will cover everything, but it is so dry. At the end of the day, I have those dry bumps and it literally looks like it's just sucked out all of the moisture from my under eyes. I look like, it doesn't look good, guys. I look pretty bad at the end of the day when I use this concealer. No, it's not happening. This reminds me a lot of the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, which is why I think a lot of people like this, because it's very comparable. High coverage, very dry, thick. If you have oily skin, this might work for you, but if you have dry skin and if you have really bad dry under eyes, guys, this is not gonna do anything for you. It's gonna make you look worse, in my opinion. That's what it does for me. Don't kill me, but those are my thoughts on the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It does not work for me, and I think it's kind of, when it says here it's weightless complete coverage concealer, it is complete coverage, but I feel it underneath my eyes. Like, it's not a weightless concealer, in my opinion. I feel it. It's too thick. Thumbs down. I want to mention though, on zits, it covers zits very, very well, but by the end of the day, you can see like the dryness of that zit, like you'll see the flakiness, but if you're only going to wear this for a couple hours over a zit, then that's fine. But as far as the under eyes goes, Moving right along to another huge favorite on YouTube, this is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. On Sephora's website, this concealer retails for $29. This has 18 shades, if you guys can believe it, 18 shades. When this first came out though, I believe Nars only had a couple shades, and then they just recently came out with a lot more shades. So that's awesome. I like that. This is an award-winning concealer that provides medium to full buildable coverage and corrects contours, highlights, and perfects. Packaging, just a simple, you know, that typical concealer tube, has a doe foot applicator, nice long wand. The cap is that rubber material, so it gets pretty dirty, but I mean, whatever, it's just the cap. So the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer is definitely more on the thick side, definitely not as thick as the Urban Decay Naked Skin, but it is on the thicker side. It doesn't give as crazy, like full-on coverage as the Naked Skin, but it's still up there. It's like one step below. I like this concealer. Now, I'm sometimes torn, like this can be in between a fave and a nay, but right now I really like it. It's more on the drier side. Did I mention that? Well, it's more on the drier side. It's not like super dry, but it is on the drier side. And by the end of the day, my eyes can look a little dry underneath there. They can, but it's not as bad, not nearly as bad as the Naked Skin. I love the way this looks at first. It looks beautiful, it looks flawless. I'm looking at my phone because I have notes on here. It looks so pretty. Look, flawless at first, can look dry at the end of the day. Call me crazy, but I know this concealer is called a Radiant Creamy Concealer, but I don't think it doesn't give like a radiance to my under eyes or a glow. It does state in the facts that it leaves a demi-matte finish, which I think is more accurate. It's more of a matte finish. As far as creasing goes, I mean, I haven't mentioned it for the past two, but creasing, my under eyes crease, it doesn't matter what concealer it is, if I don't set it. I feel like everybody has to set their under eyes. I have wrinkles underneath my eyes. If I don't set it, it's gonna crease, any concealer. But I will talk about one concealer that creases like disgustingly, even when I set it with a powder, but from the other two, these don't terribly crease on me. And this does I feel like this is the best one to kind of fill in my wrinkles underneath my eyes. This kind of masks them better than the first two and the last two that I'm gonna mention. But overall, I like this concealer. The only little thing that I'm not a fan of is it can look dry at the end of the day, like a little too dry. But other than that, I like it, I will repurchase it, and I have been using this on a regular basis. So this is a fave. Now on to the Bareminerals Bareskin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. On the Sephora website, it retails for $20. Only has 6 shades, which isn't that great. They have quite a lot of fair light shades and only like 2, maybe 3 darker shades, so that's not the greatest thing ever. This is a silky smooth complete coverage concealer and serum formula. Typical concealer tube. It's actually very similar to the Urban Decay one. The wands are pretty much identical. It's not a doe foot. It's flat on both of those sides, so that's kind of interesting. As far as the formula goes, in the name it says it is a serum concealer, so you can kind of think in your head what it's going to feel like. This is heavy, but it's not on the thick side. It's not like the Nars Radiant Creamy or the Urban Decay Naked Skin. It's on the thinner, heavier cream side. It does, when you first apply, have a beautiful luminous finish. Like, your under eyes look moisturized, they look hydrated, it looks gorgeous. But it takes forever to dry. Like, and I don't have the patience to wait 10 minutes for it to dry. I don't even know how long it takes to dry, because I'll let this sink in for 5 minutes, and after that, after I'm done doing my eyebrows or something, then I'm setting it with powder. And even when I set it with powder, and this is the biggest thing why this is like why I hate this concealer so much is even after I set it with powder, you can see creases underneath my eyes of the concealer and also the powder in each crease. Nobody wants that. Everybody sets their concealer so that it doesn't crease, and even when you set it with powder, oh, and it creases, this is not good. So that's the biggest thing for me, and I also don't feel like this lasts my whole entire workday, which fine. If it doesn't last 9-10 hours, fine, but it doesn't even last to the 4th hour. I've used this at work several times, and I'm like, why did I use this concealer? It looks so bad. Like, it just looks so... Those creases, it looks so bad. Just think of it, creases with powder in between each, and the concealer, ugh, it looks disgusting. So I'm not a huge fan of this concealer. What I've been doing to make myself feel better and not think that I wasted my money, I've been combining these two, the Naked Skin and this guy that I'm talking about right now. Because this is so dry and thick, I felt like it would work well with one that is a little bit more on the heavier creamy side, and that's moisturizing. Together, they're not bad. I like them together. It's still not my favorite. Like, if this was meshed together, it wouldn't be my favorite concealer. I would still prefer my Tarte and my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, but together it's fine, and I'm gonna continue to use them so I don't waste my money. But I'm not going to repurchase either of these. This is just a little bit too heavy for me, and I mean, this one I've already spoken about. On to the last concealer that I have to share with you guys. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. Retails for $28 on the Sephora's website, and there are 10 shades. It's not a bad overall color selection. They have some light shades, they have some dark shades, so it's not bad. This is an oil-free concealer that minimizes the appearance of imperfections while leaving skin with natural-looking radiance. Packaging, simple concealer tube. This one has a doe foot applicator, and let's just get into the formula. Okay, so formula. This isn't a thick concealer, but it's not a thin concealer either. It's right in the middle, which I love. It gives a good buildable coverage. I would say it's a medium coverage, and you can definitely build it up to a full-on coverage. I've never built it up to a full coverage because medium coverage is good for me. I don't want anything too crazy, but this looks so beautiful on the skin. It gives a beautiful satin finish. I feel like you can build this up and it won't look bad. It won't look cakey, it won't look too much, just because the formula is awesome. This concealer is not drying at all. This is the least drying concealer that I showed you today. It is awesome. It lasts my whole workday. That's pretty much why I use it so often, because it lasts for such a long time. I can go out after work and know that my concealer still looks good. No dry bumps, no nothing. It's honestly the perfect formula. It's so creamy, not drying. You can use this on acne, pimples and stuff, but I actually prefer, like, this doesn't have as much coverage as the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer or the Naked Skin, but it's there. It's probably the same amount of coverage as this Tarte one. So on zits, it will cover them, but you might have to touch up throughout the day. So overall, my faves were the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer, Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and the Born This Way Concealer by Too Faced, and the NAI's, unfortunately, Urban Decay Naked Skin, and the Bareminerals Bareskin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope this helped you out. Let me know what kind of faves and NAI's video you want to see next. I'm thinking high-end foundations, but I want to hear what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and have an awesome day. Bye.